Justin Bieber. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Phil Clarkson.
Hey, what's up? This is 50 Cent. This is your boy Flo Rida. Believe that.
Yo, this is Ja Rule.
What up? This is Kesha.
This is David Get Up.
What's up with Destiny's Child?
This your boy Drake.
Hi, this is Rihanna.
Hey, this is Tyler Cruz. Yo, what up? This bitch.
Hey, this is Taylor Swift, and you're listening to
Check this out. Check it out. This is
What's up? This is Big One Smith.
Hey, check this out, man. She's boy, you know, Troll. This is
Hi, this is Milan.
What up? This is Lupe Fiasco. Yo, what up? Your boy Wiz Khalifa.
365
This is Kings of Leon. Hi, this is Lionel Richie.
Hi, it's Christine Inbar.
Hey, what's up? This is JC.
And this is Brandon Boy from Bad Angeles.
This is DJ Golf, Grandmaster Flash.
This is Felipe. Hi, this is Eric Option.
Alright, let's get there. What's up? This is J.
Now, Nick,
Iniquity TV Radio.
really funny podcast. Listen. Yeah.
You're listening to Iniquity TV and Radio. You are listening to Iniquity TV Radio.
So let's get it on the road. Right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elevated TV Radio. My name is Daffy Matthews. You're going to love to comedy Elevated One Sports. It's going to be an abridged version of the show today. I have a class to teach. You remember, Wednesday is my time in school. I have a class to teach. I'm a lecturer. In case you don't know, it's part of my hustle. So I have a class to teach. And because of the traffic, my class is 11 o'clock, but because of the traffic on this Ajah to VGC axis, I gotta leave here as early as possible. Should have been leaving now, but you know I'm addicted to this show. Like it seems to be like my energizer, like doing the show and then I get it on the road. So maybe for 30 minutes or max 45 minutes, I'll do the show and then I jump in on the road and start going for my class. Okay, I don't like missing the chance to teach those children, and beyond that, I also don't like going late. How do you teach people morals and standard and mentor them by being a latecomer? It doesn't work. Okay, so I hope you guys will understand and bear with me. Okay, we're in this together. We're trying to shape the lives of some young people and give them opportunity, a fighting chance, like they say. Okay, what they need is just a fighting chance in a society that is working hard even against the rich, the high and mighty, the successful. So the downtrodden, the ones that are left behind, we just need to give them a fighting chance. Somebody once said that the children, the ones that we abandon, are the ones that would kill our children in traffic in the future. So we've got to give them a fighting chance and make it possible that they have something. So I'll be at a co-bit from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. That's my class time, and I'll be here. So let's get the show on the road. You know how it is on the show. Today is Wednesday, so we'll get into the place where we can mix it up with every other topic apart from sports or apart from football. And, it's the transfer window time, the transfer season. Everybody is anticipating what club is, what player is my club signing, what's going on with my club, what's here, what's there. The reason why Lewandowski was angry with Bayern Munich had come out, and then they said it's the way and manner they've been chasing other strikers, and the way they went about wanting to sign Erling Haaland at some point made him feel like, oh, I'm not important. But I think that's a petty reason anyway, because somebody was there before they signed you from Borussia Dortmund, and that's how they chased you as well. So it does sound petty for me. I don't know what you think about that, but it does sound very, very, very childish and petty from all angles. But hey, times have changed. We are really in the era of players' power right now in football, and power is not something that everybody know how to manage. Some people know how to handle power very well, some people don't. So sometimes when you elevate footballers to a position of power, abuse is inevitable because not everybody know how to do that. Okay, Lazio and Torino are interested in Sassuolo's Felipe Jurisic. At this rate, Sassuolo might not have any player their name as they go. Yeah, and we just gotta keep our fingers crossed and see how that goes. Juventus want Domenico Berardi as an alternative to Barcelona-linked Angel Di Maria. Okay, because they were hoping to sign Angel Di Maria, but it seems like Di Maria wants to go to Spain. Well, these older players from South America and Europe, how are they doing it that only big clubs come for them? Because, I mean, our players, once they get past the age of 30, they are going to Saudi Arabia, they are going to... I'm just asking, how are they doing it? What kind of agency do they have and all that? Milan moved for Sven Botman under threat due to Manchester United, Tottenham, and Newcastle interest. It's all about the money, man. It's all about the Benjamins. Doesn't matter whether Newcastle are playing in Europe or not. It's all about the Benjamin. AC Milan have Champions League to offer, but that doesn't count right now for some players. Chelsea, they are open up to loaning Romelu Lukaku to Inter Milan if that's what would work. And Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur, they have made contact for Inter's Alessandro Bastoni. That's the conversation on ground. So let's see how that goes at the end of the day. Okay. They say Milan Scudetto win is a big victory for solid recruitment. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to read that story. Remember yesterday they said that the Italian people, the Italian media are saying that Stefano Pioli should be named the coach of the season across Europe. So let me read this story. Sometimes you have to read these write-ups. Something to learn. And it's an opinion, but it's something to look at. They call them editorials, right? Milan was presented with help of intelligent recruitment, and Cuthbert Pende, okay, looks at how a uniformity in every player's objective brought about the win. So let's look at it from this angle. And the writer says when Leicester City won the Premier League in 2016, there was an intangible that bound, a lot of the players together throughout their careers. None of the players had become acclaimed names. They had never tested the top accolades in the game, and a fair few of them were seeing their careers fade into mediocrity. Okay, there was also Claudio Ranieri, who was constantly mocked in Italy for never really making it at the bigger clubs, to a point where his relevance had all but faded. I like to write up the way the writer introduces his point, like a good preacher who wants to preach, and he starts by laying all the precepts, all the context, in different way, and then he uses a bow tie to tie all of them together. I like to write up like that. And when I saw this, I was like, I'm going to read it again on my show, so that my viewers, my audience, okay, would also follow the conversation. He said, if not for the state of congruence and uniformity across board, Leicester City may not have done the impossible. Surely, but silently, that uniformity was also achieved by Milan in the many months during their build-up to the Scudetto win. From Stefano Pioli and Olivier Giroud to Alexis Tsimikas and Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who was taking injection to just play football. That's how much he loves more, anyway. There was a commonality in all of them. And one way or another, okay, they all had something to prove. The 56-year-old Pioli had never won a single piece of silverware in his managerial career, despite having a playing career which had seen him win Serie A, Serie B, and Serie C with 3 different clubs in his career. As manager, Pioli acquired the reputation of being a nearly man. While his spell with Lazio had seen the Biancoceleste finish third in his only full season, defeat to Bayern Leverkusen in the playoff round of the Champions League meant that Lazio couldn't return to the competition for the very first time in 2008. Right? Okay. It says since my voice is mute. Really? Is my voice mute? That's strange. Is my voice still mute? Sorry about that one. I think you can hear me now. I want to believe so. Okay, so sorry about that. Sorry. I think my voice is mute. I'll probably increase your volume. I think everything is fine on my end. Okay. And then what was that? The brief spell at Inter Milan ended in a single season, and then came a spell at Fiorentina where Pioli had enjoyed a memorable spell as a player. Even though he resigned from the Artemio Franchi before the end of the second season, a lot of Pioli's human values came to the fore in the midst of tragedy and troubles. Following David Astori's death, Pioli got a DA13 tattoo on his wrists. He led the team through a crisis, often taking criticism away from the players and placing it on his own head. That's leadership, That's leadership, especially in a time where everybody is throwing people under the bus. Hey, Dabanam, how are you? He said the Italian was up at 2:30 in the morning just so he was the first person new signing Christian Nogard saw on his arrival in Florence following a game against Spa. Pioli bought a host of Fiorentina fans some sandwiches, even though the fans were only joking when they were chanting Pagasi, Pagasi, El Panino, especially means play for the sandwich. While he is still considered a legend in those parts of the country, a feeling of forced nostalgia was always associated with his appointment. Okay, for many, the Milan job was considered too big for Pioli. The club was reeling with the axing of Marco Giampolo only some weeks after he was brought in from Sampdoria. Goals were hard to come by, and despite the heavy spending in the summer, things were barely going right for the Rossonerians. Okay, Pioli prior reputation of being a nearly man didn't help, especially at a club where demands have always been lofty. Being handed only a temporary deal was a sign of how they trusted Pioli in the long term. As Ralf Rangnick was seen as the man to revitalize the club. Well, thank God he didn't play him. Hey, thank God though. Similar, we don't know what for now. This did hit rock bottom after the 5-0 loss to Atlanta, and the timing could not have been more fitting for Zlatan Ibrahimovic to return on an initial short loan deal in the MLS amidst constant comparison with the Mercurial Carlos Vela. Zlatan had seemingly conquered the United States as it was during the move to Manchester United. The Swede returned to Milan with the aim of proving that he was still very much relevant at the age of 39. Wow. That intention drove the striker back to the Rossoneri, who were losing Krzysztof Piatek. Okay, Andrea Silva had been traded for Ante Rebic and Rafael Leao. Okay, was still finding his feet at the club. Zlatan and had lots to prove, and for the youngest team in the 2019-2020 season, they had loads to learn from the veteran. And Stefano Pioli went to work. I'm going to talk about the other part of it, but let's look at some conversation coming from you guys. What are you guys saying on Facebook, on YouTube, and what are they saying in the transfer market? I'm going to come back to that story. I'm going to come back to it. It's a very, very long write-up, but I love it. So I thought I should read it for you guys and see where you guys are going. So transfer gist is everywhere. And there's some headlines in different news makers there. Forget about what happened in Abuja. If you're Nigerian, don't worry. Hold your PVC. That's all I can tell you. Don't be influenced by dollars or bag of rice. I mean, they always think that rice is what we need anyway. I don't know why everybody thinks that rice, carbohydrate is so good. Okay, breaking news. Liverpool ready to smash their transfer record as they open talks to sign £85 million Darwin Nunez. So, like I said yesterday, Arsenal should forget about that player. That's not the player that Arsenal can sign. That money is big. The salary is going to command is also big. With Benfica ahead of Manchester United and Atletico de Madrid, Sadio Mane is certain to leave. Okay, so we now know, like I said a couple of weeks ago, that Sadio Mane will leave. Okay, but they would replace them. I don't have a problem with Liverpool because I just think that Liverpool, they know how to do their business and they understand the dynamics of the transfer market very well. They have a team, a crack team that know how to get a goal and everything. And Liverpool is a profit-making team. So when they make any move, I don't get bad about it. Okay, breaks up a part of football. I'm not selfish. Invest the money you get for me. Okay, Robert Lewandowski turns up the heat on Bayern Munich, telling them he mentally needs to move in another public plea. Okay, so the whole talk of him staying, I think, is at this point is dead. But when I look at Lewandowski, now this is the part that is getting me surprised. Lewandowski does not come across to me as that kind of player that will want to pull punches at a club like Bayern for the kind of time he stayed, the kind of success. I think that some of the things he's saying and the way he's going about this is transfer is destroying his bridge, his legacy at Bayern Munich. So I'm not sure he's ever going to be seen as a Bayern legend anymore. Okay, and these are the kind of things that clubs people don't forgive. He's really done well, worked hard, won the Ballon d'Or at Bayern, won the Golden Boot at Bayern, won the European Champions League, won the league title. Like, you can get bored, when you're the only team winning everything. You can get bored, but the way you exit is always very, very important. I always talk about breakup when people go apart from each other. It should be mutual. People should kind of have some respect within themselves to think about, okay, this decision, how's it going to affect me? How's it going to affect everybody? My relationship with friends that I made here and all that. Well, hey, this is life. It's not the only person who's done that. A lot of people have burned bridge in time past. And sometimes too, it's not just the players. Sometimes it's also the clubs. Some clubs have also burned bridges with players, and it happens like that. So let's say this one, this divorce is not looking beautiful. It's looking like something that would a Donald Trump kind of divorce. But let's move on. Chelsea want Lautaro Martinez as part of Romelu Lukaku's loan to Inter Milan, with the club also eyeing up Milan Skriniar and Alessandro Bastoni as the 98 million Belgian continues to push for an exit from Stamford Bridge. So you see, sometimes when you don't have what you need, you have to take what you have to get what you're looking for. That's exactly what's happening. Luis Van Gaal wants in-demand centre-back Julian Timber that it is not so wise to consider a summer move to Manchester United just 2 months on from the Holland boss trying to put Erik ten Hag off taking over the commercial club. Okay, Manchester United is now called the commercial club. I thought it was a football club, but they say that it's a commercial club. So let's see how it goes. Seems like Louis van Gaal is still very bitter how he was treated at Manchester United, and he's trying his best to advise every Dutch player he can. Well, some Dutch players have succeeded at Manchester United. History tells me about Ruud van Nistelrooy, Jaap Stam, but the two of them were kicked out of Manchester United. Funny record. But also Dutch players have come to Manchester United and struggled. Daley Blind, Memphis Depay, Marco van der Beek, one other player can remind me now. I can't remember his name, but there's another player. So it's not hooray to say Dutch players easily succeed at Manchester United. Just the same way, I don't know if any Italian player have played for Arsenal or they have succeeded. So sometimes when they mention Italian players associated with Arsenal, I always wonder, okay, what's going to happen? Is it going to work or it's not going to work? Okay, well, let's keep our fingers crossed and see how that goes. Anyway, so Louis van Gaal is still very, finicky with this club called Manchester United, still very angry, and he will do everything to make sure he advises his countrymen not to go there. Well, they said the road where someone died and the road where another person find treasure. So life, sometimes, Machiavellian principle, takes one kingdom to fall for another to rise. The thing will not work for one person and they work for another person. So let's keep our fingers crossed and see how that goes. Now starting in his criminal, Gary Lineker joins fans in hailing Manchester City star Jack Grealish special England cameo against Germany, with some calling for him to start instead of Mason Mount. Okay, now we get a different views to that player. Well, I'm not really his big fan. Okay, I'm not really a big fan. I think that Jack Grealish is a regular player, okay, but I don't think he's all that. I don't think it's all that. But hey, the English press, if they want to make you a superstar, they will make you a superstar. And they want to make you a fall guy, they'll make you a fall guy. Don't forget that Harry Kane rescued a point for England as they drew 1-1 with Germany in the what's it called? The competition is hard for me to even call itself. I always forget what the name is. The Euro Nations League. Very, very funny. It's supposed to be a friendly game anyway. Jack Grealish, talking about Jack Grealish, guys, Southgate has challenged Jack Grealish to win England's starting spot after his impressive cameo when replacing Mason Mount to help change the game in the Nations League draw against Germany. So let's see how that goes at the end of the day. Remember that this season's Premier League would start like 2 weeks or a week earlier than normal because of the Winter World Cup in Qatar. So we wait for how that will go. And for those of you who are asking me questions about the podcast is going to come out in this June, definitely. I guarantee you that one. Don't worry yourself. We're just putting finishing touches to some of the promo materials Okay, so we changed a few of our team that are working with us, and some traveled, some relocated from Nigeria to Canada and to Europe. So we got a new team, and we need to like put them in to really understand where we're going with the project. And you know how it is, you don't just rush this. Creative work is not rushed, as you say. So we had to get them in line to see what we're doing and understand what we're doing before we get them to do some stuff. So I think hopefully next week, if we don't get it done this week, next week, or the week after, it'll be out. But one thing that I guarantee you is that the podcast will start running from this month. Having said that, we're also working very, very hard around the clock to make sure we attend the African Women Cup of Nations in July. Okay, so it's an experience that I've not had from a journalistic point of view. I've watched a few African Cup of Nations here in Nigeria and other parts, but I've really not gone to cover anyone. So this is the first one that I'm trying to be on the boat. I've not put my full leg on the boat, just one leg yet, but it's a consideration that we're having. So if that happens, maybe for the period of the Nations Cup, I would be in Morocco and not be in the studio. I just need to prepare your mind, and you get some snippets, some tidbits of what we're doing, how things are going in Morocco while we're there, so you would get a feel of all of that. Having said that, just prepare your mind for it, and we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I don't have all the time in this one. It's just going to be a 30-minute show today, and I just hope that we all do enjoy the show as it goes today. Let me go now to the story that I was reading for you guys before. Let me continue with that story. And arguably, Leao needed someone like Ibrahimovic to step in. It was defined by how Ibrahimovic's second buff for Milan came alongside Leao in Pioli's new 4-4-2 shape, and the Portuguese youngster shone like a lot of others in the side. Leao had to live up to the 23 million euro price tag, and expectation for him had been high for a while. The season hadn't started too well for him, and while lacking some confidence, Leao also lacked a final pass in his play. But I think that AC Milan were very patient with him. That's why when I'm hearing that he wants to leave, I'm worried. Like, okay, but you just got in the groove. I think you should give AC Milan another season and see how it goes. A lot of vital points in the 2019-2020 season were seized by AnteRebic's goal. The 2018 World Cup finalists had not made the expected impact in the first half of the campaign, despite becoming a key part of the iconic triumvirate of Sebastian Haller, Luka Jovic, and himself at Eintracht Frankfurt. If not for Rebic, key strikes against Udinese, Torino, Fiorentina, and Brescia, the Rossoneri would not have finished as high as fifth. So the 2019-2020 season witnessed the first sign of what was to come from Theo Hernandez, who has now become an emblem of the club, signed with the ambition to replace Ricardo Rodriguez. Okay. What was I now? Hernandez had never truly realized his full potential at either of the Madrid club, Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid. The move to Milan was his golden chance, and he had taken it with both hands and both legs, constantly bombarding down the left and threatening the opposition with ruthless pace. I love this writer. I just like the writer, the way he put the story together. I don't think I can write as good as this anyway. I'm not a good writer. I won't lie, but I could talk. After several diplomatic and technical issues led to Milan pulling the plug on a move for Rafael, Pioli was handed a new deal, placing an incredible amount of trust in the Italian despite being very close to being in someone who has made a living out of reforming club. Was a massive decision. But Pioli, Maldini, and Ricky Massara had a job on their hand. The biggest of these careers, especially for now, they had put the boat out of Pioli's new deal. Okay, let's see how it goes. Rossoneri struck to the same approach in the market as they had under Maldini, Sandro, Tonelli, and there was nearly poached by Inter Milan. Antonio Conte preferred bringing in Arturo Vidal, a lifelong Milan fan. Tonelli's status in the Italian game as a mix of Andrea Pirlo and Rino Gattuso was certain to put a certain amount of burden on his young shoulders. Okay, and they choose the different way. They decide, no, Antonio Conte would not want you Arturo Vidal, we don't want you. We want to go with young players. Unknown. Later, Bukayo Saka was roped in on an initial loan from Chelsea, and he beat like Tonelli. The Englishman also had a lot of hype to live up to. Highly rated for a long time at Stamford Bridge, this was Tomori's first chance to make a mark away from the club, and he was supposed to take time to settle into a new country. He could have stayed in England, but he decided to move to Italy anyway. Brian Diaz, remember him? Brian Diaz loan was another signing of the same old, always seen as a future star at Manchester City and Real Madrid. The move to Milan was seen as the attacking midfielder's shot at finally showing his ability at a high level. Did he show it? Well, the story will tell. Two signings that did raise some eyebrows at the club, though, were Pere Kalulu and Alexis Salemakas. Okay, the Belgian was not seen as a game changer of a signing in January, but was seen as a solid squad option on the right, with Pioli's system undergoing a vital change. Milan looked to play with an expensive left side while maintaining an equilibrium on the right by keeping being conservative on that flank. I just like the writer. I love the writer. Use of word, description, narrative, analysis. Kalulu meanwhile had never played any first-team football at Lyon. The French club had decided not to give him a due deal, implying that the defender's time at Lyon was over. Come to the end of the road, okay, before he could make it to the first-team squad. He moved on to Milan, where he was expected to be a squad option, was seen as a massive challenge by many. But did he meet up to the challenge? We will see. On the way, Milan did lose a host of recognized players for free. Okay, Giacomo Benaventura, Lucas Biglia, the Argentine guy, Matteo Masaccio, and Pepe Reina all departed, while Suso and Lucas Paqueta also left in what was a mass clear exodus movement of the people. Okay, it was a sign of a club which wasn't just sticking to a plan while buying. They were also making sure that Deadwood never accumulated in the side. I wish Arsenal could do that anyway. While reducing the average age, a return to the Champions League meant more finances for the summer of 2021, but that didn't stop Gianluca Donnarumma and Hakan Çalhanoğlu from leaving. But it wasn't the first time that Milan were losing recognized players for nothing. Tomori's loan was made permanent, and Tonelli also arrived on a permanent basis. Tonelli's first season hadn't been impressive, but it was only meant to be a start. But Tomori had emerged as one of the best defenders in Syria. That was a beautiful part, okay? As Ultras prepared as ever, Milan roped in Mike Maignan well before Donnarumma's left. Dyer stayed on his loan deal, essentially replacing Çalhanoğlu with the impending free exit of Frankese. Yassin Adi was brought in before being sent back to Bordeaux. The midfielder like Tonali came in with a reputation of being a quality talent in Ligue 1 and was essentially unproven outside of France. But the story changes, okay? So let me jump again and go to the transfer rumors as I get close to the time of my exit. Manchester City have denied suggestion they are set to move for Arsenal and England forward Bukayo Saka, 20 years old. Yippee! Glory, glory. Let me not say United now. Okay, so we're happy about that because we don't want to lose him. But if they come with like 80 million, 100 million, hey, why should we reject the offering of a praise? We will take it. We will spend it somewhere else. But I mean, it's good to keep Saka anyway. Like, it brings confidence to the team, especially when we've not signed other players. If you sell Saka now, other players that are coming are going to feel like, oh, this club is weakening itself. Why? This is a selling club. Why should I go there? So let's keep him. Thank you very much, Manchester City, for that decision, for coming out. But sometimes they say these things and then they do something else. Manchester United and Tottenham are both interested in Inter Milan's Italian international defender Alessandro Bastoni, just 23 years of age. Real Madrid have agreed a deal worth 100 million euro, that's 85 million pounds, with Monaco for 22-year-old French midfielder Aurelien Tchouameni. What is left is the medical for the player and then personal terms as well. But I think that it's going to go to Real Madrid. Chelsea, Newcastle, and Paris St-Germain are all interested in 22-year-old Portugal and AC Milan forward Rafael. I just was reading about him, one player that nobody had confidence in all of a sudden. And I hear that the fee, a player that they go for free, the fee is in the region of 80 to 100 million. So that's a good one. Okay, Chelsea and Tottenham are set, okay, to rival each other for the signature of 27-year-old Inter Milan defender Milan Skriniar, who represents Slovakia at international level. Tottenham have opened discussion with Manchester United and England forward Marcus Rashford. Hey, are you buying a waste player? You want to open a Mala shop in London? Oh, okay, over a move to North London. Arsenal are confident they can sign Leicester and Belgium midfielder Yuri Tillemans. Please get the deal done quick. With no Champions League qualified club interested in 25-year-old. Okay, so get the deal done. Don't be telling me what you are confident of. Get the deal done. Clubs like Arsenal should not be telling us what they are confident. We just get the deal across the line. Everton have marked Tottenham and England midfielder Harry Winks 26 as a possible summer signing. I think that I would have to observe Frank Lampard carefully. So somebody wrote me something. Let me read it. Let me read what the person wrote. Hi, Daphne. When Frank Lampard was at Chelsea, you were predicting that it wasn't good enough. He was going to get sacked in February. Of course, your prediction. Excuse me. Of course, your prediction came to pass, and there is no need arguing about your prediction. It's been consistent for as long as I know you. But looking at what they did last season, do you care to change your prediction about Frank Lampard? Do you think you can rate him among the top coaches, or you still think he is not good enough? Okay, so okay, Lawrence is the person that said it. Now, Lawrence, listen. If you look at what happened last season, it still goes back again to my prediction that English coaches are good enough to battle relegation. They are not coaches that you employ if you want to win a league title, if you want to campaign in Europe and all that. And that's exactly what Frank Lampard did. The way and manner he did it was nice, but it also, goes to the fact that the other clubs, the Burnleys, the Norwich, the other clubs that got relegated, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Watford, were just pure useless. Having said that, though, I'll give him credit for the way he survived relegation, what he's done with the squad that he's got, the fight is brought into players like Richarlison, Kamalowe, and our very own Alex Iwobi. Like, we saw him play the kind of football that I've always expected that he would play, but people never saw that's what I was demanding from him, because he's got the potential to do that. But the way he was playing prior to that was useless as far as I'm concerned. I have a business being on the football field, and I still hold on to that. Now that said, all of this put together, what he did last season, Frank Lampard, I'm talking about now, only attests to my position about him, that he's only good enough to battle relegation. And that's exactly what he did. He's done. Sorry. This is Sam Allardyce 2.0 in Frank Lampard. Nothing's changed. And nothing changed here. So what we're going to look at for is what he does in this new season. And then this season is a very peculiar one. This is the first time in the middle of the season the World Cup is going to go on. And we're going to run off for the World Cup and then wait for how the season goes. So players could be informed from when the season starts at the end of July to maybe somewhere around November. And then by the time they go to the World Cup and come back, you see completely different type of football. Positions can change, squad situation can change. That is some of the things that can happen. So I might take it easy on the coaches. I might, relax in my criticism. But Frank Lampard needs to tell me if he can take Everton with all of the players that they've got, if he retains them and the ones that he's going to bring in, if he can take them to be a top half team, then we'll have this conversation. But if he still stays as the bottom half team, then my prediction about him is as good as I have always said. But did he do well towards surviving relegation? Yes, he did well. But what changed? Nothing changed. My prediction is still my prediction. It's not a coach that you want to depend on if you want to go win the league title. It's not a coach. Frank Lampard will not win you the English Premier League. Let's be very honest here. Tactically, Frank Lampard doesn't have it. Even as Steven Gerrard, because now you're trying to defend the English coaches. Even as Steven Gerrard that we're talking about, hey, he's not going to win the English Premier League. Right? That's not really happening. Give me a break. So my predictions about the English coaches have not been wrong. Look at Brendan Rodgers. He had a chance to really do a roller coaster just to make the top four. He couldn't. Steven Gerrard is here. He's going to win the league for Liverpool because of what? About 2 goals up. He couldn't even manage the tactics. Again, there was a slip up. Okay, like he did with Liverpool and Chelsea. Dembaba is there. So it's one of those things that you look at English coaches and you say, even the greatest English coach that everybody is praising, Sir Bobby Robson, yes, took England to the semi-finals of the World Cup in 1990. But really, at club level, Newcastle, Barcelona, not really much to talk about. So I sit down here and I say my position of Frank Lampard, Lawrence, I'm sorry, is still the same. Let him prove me wrong, and then you see me change my position. I mean, it's not cast in stone. If you do well, I'll be able to say it. Kaz underscore 347 said those English coaches no sabi anything, Jerry. Thank you very much, my bro, for joining me on that conversation. Okay, so West Ham sent scouts to watch Denmark and Brentford midfielder Christian Eriksen 30 plus his international teammate Atlanta right back Joachim Mehile. Okay, 25 in the Nations League action on Monday with a view for a double transfer. Okay, so let's see. And the Wednesday, Chris, I say what I think Southgate has done well. Is it won anything? I mean, done well. Please, can you explain done well? Big Uncle E, good morning, sir. Good morning to you. Okay, has he won anything? Does it win, achieve anything? He had the Euros to win. He didn't win it. Had a World Cup to get to the finals. And then get to the finals. Come on. It's a top place in the World Cup. Okay. Well, that's England for you. England's success are always measured differently from other people's success. I understand that, so I can take it. Leeds are set to announce the signing of 24-year-old Danish right back Rasmus Christensen. Okay, I thought this guy was going to go to a bigger club anyway. From Red Bull Salzburg. Okay, that's according to Fabrizio Romano on Twitter. If he says it, then it's done because he never gets it right. Okay, although yes, England always have good squad, but not enough passion. Okay. Footstep exclusive. You say, I feel you, Elevator. Thank you very much. I feel you too. Unfortunately, today's show is not going to last for very long. I'm going to leave that. I'm about to go to school for my class. I have a class to teach, and I need to leave faster because of the Ajah traffic. That traffic is crazy. Okay, Manchester United and Newcastle are reportedly the two teams closer to signing 22-year-old Benfica and Uruguay striker Darwin Nunez, but Liverpool have overtaken them. Liverpool are ready to put in a record £85 million to sign the player. Let's see how that goes. Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel has been promised he can take the lead on transfer business by new owner Todd Bowley in a move designed to model Manchester City and Liverpool. Well, promise. This is transfer window. Put the money down and let the man begin to sign the players he wants to sign. Talk is cheap. Action is what everybody needs right now. Brighton and Mali midfielder Yves Bissouma, 25. You know how long they've been linking this guy to Arsenal? He's no longer on Aston Villa list of transfer target. However, Villa boss Steven Gerrard may still look for a new central midfielder this summer. Okay, Poland striker Lewandowski, 33, has told a Polish podcast he is leaving Bayern Munich because he wants more emotion, okay, in his life. And the German champions, they want to listen to me to the end. Wow, emotion. Yaya Tori, cake. This one, emotion. Okay, just emotion. Chakatama. Okay, that's a new song. The new song that I want to release. Would you guys buy my song if I release it? Okay. Olivia says, and the media. Okay, and the media fanfare around England makes you think they are regular winners, which they are not. Yes, they've not won anything since 1966, apart from the Under 17 World Cup 2017 that for them and the rest win. So, would Jose Mourinho really go to PSG? Do you think he can take on that project, sir? I want him to go, so I'm not objective. Aboki Naira, I saw you in Dubai and you didn't reach out to me. Is that fair? You saw me in Dubai, you just walked past me, I just let me go like that. Okay, and amazing Christian. He says Southgate has built a team, a real competitive team that no team in the world can run over currently. He has made the English team a contending, you're saying something. A contending team for major tournament, and I bet in a couple of years, this team is dying already. The team is already fading. That's a couple of which years. Team that went to Hungary, nothing with much. Yesterday, you see them play against Germany. They were struggling. Come on, see England at peak. They are not falling. They are nose diving already. They are plummeting already. They don't need tank to say a couple of which years. Couple of years, Harry Kane is no longer the guy that you expect him to be. Now England don't have like really proper centre back anymore. The fullbacks are still there. Then in the midfield, they are still struggling who to play and who not to play. Guy, England are ready for. They missed the chance. They missed the train. The two train that they had was the World Cup. Even just get to the finals and lose. Obviously, they will lose to France before. Lose in the finals, that would make some sense. As they lost the Euros final, that the time. This is like 96 repeating itself again. Before England will come back again to this position, it's like another 20 or 30 or 40, 50 years. Okay? they will grab a major team. I used maybe you're saying a major trophy. They are not. Okay, boss. What do you think about Chelsea manager being the head of transfer decision for Chelsea? That's just talk. You know that. That's just talk. That's just management talk because they've not employed the people that they want to employ. And again, that's another sign that you have the new owners don't know what they're doing. Oh. The new Chelsea owners don't know what they're doing. All those time that they spent trying to buy the club. What you should do is to get your team that will take over the structure of the team and run it. The fact that by now they don't have that team in place tells me that 4.7 billion spent, it's foolishness. I don't see the sense in it, okay? It's politics, I don't know what really is, but it's strange that I would go spend that much money to buy a club and I don't have a team in place to run the club and I'm running post to pillar. Well, there's a way you will be rich anyway. So 4.7 billion pounds would not be anything to you. So let me just put it like that. But making a coach, that's the mistake that Arsenal made that put Arsenal in the position that they are. I cannot support it today, tomorrow, anytime. Oluyan says, will Cristiano CR7 really stay back with United to the Europa League being a UCL record hero? Obviously, he will stay because there are two things with Cristiano Ronaldo. It's not about him wanting to stay. It's also about another club wanting to have him. The only club who could have him already have Mbappe, and they also already have Messi. The good thing with Messi is a guy that's shown us that he can fall back. He can refuse the limelight. He can drop the limelight and let somebody else take the shine. It doesn't feel. I mean, at Paris Saint-Germain, Messi is the third player. There is Mbappe, there is still Neymar before Messi. Cristiano Ronaldo is not that kind of guy. Before Cristiano Ronaldo came to Manchester United, first they ended the previous season in second position. The season had started before he came. Let's not forget, the engine was steaming. It was hot. Everything was. Man United was in that place where they would compete for the title. Then Cristiano Ronaldo came, and it changed from Manchester United to Cristiano United. So while Cristiano Ronaldo was sailing and shining, the club was suffering. Okay, because the whole armor was not arrowed towards Cristiano Ronaldo. People like Marcus Rashford, who seemed like this season he wanted to wake up, he's realized that he can play, faded off. Messi Greenwood, I keep saying that Cristiano Ronaldo's coming, killed that guy. And then Bruno Fernandes, who also had become the shaft of the team, all of a sudden was not made to supply the ball that he was supposed to put in the net, was not made to supply to Cristiano Ronaldo. And all of that destroyed Manchester United as a unit. And then there was the dressing room, the whole issues that the club had, Rafael coming in and all that. But basically, Cristiano Ronaldo does not have people that will take him. Where would he go? I can't look back to Portugal for now. So since he doesn't have takers, he will have to start Manchester United. At least he still have 1 year contract. He doesn't want to terminate that contract and go sit at home and play with his children. He would play at Manchester United. Erik Ten Hag can come with all the laws, no mobile phone, no social media, no earring, no perming your hair. When he's done, when they lose 5-0 twice to Liverpool and Man City, he would understand that it's not about draconian laws and all that would happen. So let's see how it goes. But for me, if you ask me, I would say, yeah, I don't see Manchester United doing anything better than they did last season. Okay, Precious Dominican 001, he said that CR7 made a mistake going to United. He would have gone to City. City were never looking for him. So go where? Go force yourself on City. Say, what's happened? Say, now you get the club. City never wanted to buy. You think that Pep Guardiola would allow that kind of a player in his team? Richard Otoje said, I beg, why Barcelona they pursue Lewandowski when he be say they not get money for pockets? Okay, they are playing for miracle. Okay, they should concentrate on Ferran, Jotla, and in Barcelona B team, and then send back Ferran Torres to the reserve. Jotla had been banging goals in the reserve team, not in the senior team. Amigo Bros, I greet you especially. I greet you too. You can be banging goal in the reserve. When it comes to the competition of the big team, it might be different. Akim Musere, Denny Yomi said, good morning, boss. Right on, sir. Thank you very much. Let me see if there is any comment that I've abandoned on the YouTube channel. Okay, Anna Julie said, those organizers have no love for the players. These guys have just finished a league and should be given a break before preseason start. Well, it's money. It's about the money. It's the money. It's about the money. Players also want big money. So if you want big money, say if you shot plenty, you go shoot plenty. That's exactly as it is. They're asking for big money when a player wants to be earning £750,000 a week. He don't work for them. He go work for them. I don't feel for players anymore. If you're paying them £50,000 a week, they will rest. But if they want to earn £750,000 a week, money that countries don't have, they better work. Oh. They cannot. They should not even be allowed to sleep. Ashiru Ibrahim, he said, "Good morning, great work you're doing. Thank you very much." Concerning that Nunez, I don't think Liverpool would pay that huge sum, except they are to pay it within 5 years or so. Every transfer is like that now, unless you're paying the buyout clause. There is no transfer that anybody pays the full sum. Nobody is paying full sum of transfer. Don't let anybody deceive you. Okay? Actually, you say your Nations League is the most annoying tournament ever. Yeah. There is no, don't let anybody deceive you. There's no club. As we talk, Chelsea have not paid the transfer of Lukaku complete. There's no club that pays full transfer. So, Steph Monique said, "Look at the ABC primary day, but I had to stop watching to attend your live show." I'm going to sign. I'm 1 minute away from signing that. I'm going to script today, so you will go back to watch the APC. No worry. When you watch finish, tell me. I don't bother myself watch because it's not in my plan. I don't think I want to bother myself. When they are done, there's nothing my watching it will change. They already people don't collect dollar. I don't feel they watch people who don't collect dollar. I can't stress myself. They listen to speech. All the speech that I saw, the ones that I saw, they were all indicting Buhari. That's just the basic truth. All the people that came in to talk were all indicting Buhari, but they are the ones that want to save us. They are our redeemer. They are our savior. They are our deliverer. They were the people who put Buhari. They supported Buhari, do everything. My people. Boku leave all these people. People they collect dollar. I mean, yeah, they pay me. I know what bother about them. Oh wait, I know I will vote for already. It's not in APC. It's not in PDP. So I don't know what it. I don't know what it. I get my PVC. So I don't know what they do there. Brighton and okay, I think I passed that one. Poland striker, I passed that one. AC Milan are hoping to complete the signing of Dutch defenders Van Botman 22 and Portugal midfielder Renato Sanchez. Man, we'll be hearing about Renato Sanchez for years. Arsenal should sign him, this, that, but it happened. AC Milan are closing in. I mean, Newcastle United are closing in on £12 million deal to make 26-year-old English left back Matt Target loan move from Aston Villa a permanent one. Now, the thing that is surprising me with Newcastle, I am sorry, I thought that with the kind of Saudi Arabian money that they spent to buy the club and all the fanfare that came with it, this transfer will start the era of big signing. But unfortunately, they're still looking for crumbs. Did they buy the club to remain just as Newcastle without competing for that? Because the kind of signing that they are making, I don't know. I'm just surprised. Leeds United are doing Southampton and West Ham in their interest of 20-year-old Red Bull Salzburg and Austria striker Junior Adamo. Remember that Nigerian boy? Okay, want to bring him to the Premier League. Former Manchester United and Netherlands forward Robin van Persie, 38, says he turned down the opportunity to join Erik ten Hag as his assistant at Old Trafford. We know now. Why are you telling us again? You say you want to stay with your family, your children are in school, blah, blah, blah. Enjoy it. Let's move on. Well, at this point, I got to pack my bags and baggages and leave. I'm sorry if I'm leaving a little bit earlier, but I've got to go and beat the traffic so that I can take my class to leave. So let's do this again tomorrow. God bless you. Thank you very much. My name is Idafe Matthew. Second, you love to come in and go to sports. It's been a lovely time on the show. Coming up next for the next 5 or 6 minutes is Idowu Adeleke with Grassroots Sports Update. You can only see it on www.elevatortv.com/radio or using the mobile application Elevator TV Radio on your Android phone. God bless you and have yourself a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Repubblica TV Radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen.
Let your life be an impact to others people. Happy New Month to you all. Welcome to Grassroots Sports Updates on Repubblica TV Radio. I'm Adeleke Idowu. The show is powered by Sports Exclusive.